Silence isn't gonna help you now. Listen close, Sean. Tomorrow you're going to Jolena Shore and you'll be arraigned in court for the murder of a Seattle police officer.
That'll go.
You might spend the rest of your life in prison.
Fantastic.
Or you can talk to me.
Welcome back to Life is Strange 2. Last time we played, we lost our brother. I don't know. He destroyed a house and we lost an eye. We lost a brother. So we're not losing people anymore. We are losing people. He's not dead. People aren't dying anymore. We're just losing them like they're objects that get misplaced, and we're losing body parts. So I don't know what's better. Having said that, let's get going. Always positive, this game. Always positive, never negative. I really hope this wasn't a consequence of my actions.
In a wild world, there were two wolf brothers living in their home lair with their papa wolf. They lived in peace until hunters took their dad away.
No.
And they had to go on the run. That's when the big brother discovered that the little one was not an ordinary wolf, but a super wolf.
Not a big bad wolf.
They discovered a secret hideout where they could train day and night. They were happy. But the little wolf got very sick, and they had to move on.
They've come so far.
The brothers made it to the home of their ancestors, and the old wolves took care of them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the hunters were hot on their trail and found them.
And Chris.
The brothers had nowhere to stay again, so they decided to keep going south. They soon entered the old forest of the giants, where they met a pack of stray dogs who worked in a secret farm. The brothers joined them and worked hard to stock up on gold for the future.
Yeah.
They were happy to find others like them, and everybody loved the little wolf.
The different dog
was
breeds.
growing up fast.
Is that an otter?
His power was growing too. The little wolf was more and more confident and independent. The big brother hooked up with a cool she-dog. They had their own adventures.
The way he kind of chuckles there.
Suddenly, the mean farmers who owned the land tried to hurt the brothers. The little cub was injured. He transformed into a super wolf and destroyed everything. The big brother was badly wounded. And worse, he didn't know where the little cub was.
I like how that's worse than being injured. I don't like that, I guess, but your actions and decisions will have consequences. Really driving it home that some of this is a consequence of my own actions. The coloring is off. Oh. It's like we're just waking up. This is where we were before, with Pride Rock. The very first area. Gosh, would Lila even recognize us? Like, if we went back and we were like, hey, remember me? Would she even recognize us? Oh, this has to be a flashback. Okay. Oh gosh, they look so young.
Sean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It was a bad idea.
Daniel. No way. It's all good.
Wish I listened when you tried to stop me from going with Finn.
Ah,
I was too pissed.
It's okay, dude.
this didn't happen
You're my brother,
in real life.
and that's all that counts.
Dreaming it,
So, why
imagining
don't you
it,
come and get me?
wishing it. Dreaming it, it feels like.
I'm alone, Sean. I don't know what to do.
I don't think we would
I'm
wish
scared.
to be guilted.
Don't get so close to that edge.
Please, come and get me.
Yes, I swear.
Oh no, don't do that.
Stop!
I mean, a hospital's a great place if you've lost an eye. Jesus. 2 months after the blast. Have we been in the hospital the whole time? I don't know how long you'd stay in the hospital for losing an eye out.
Fuck.
Don't poke your eye out, kid. It's a very Christmas story. I don't know how long you would be in the hospital for that, but I wouldn't think it would be 2 months. Also, we probably wouldn't have ID on us. Maybe we did. No, I don't think that we would have ID on us. But if we had ID on us, wouldn't that kind of be a bad thing in the sense that, like, yes, we need medical care. That's kind of a necessity at this point. But if the medical care kind of came with this idea of going back to the cops and everything that comes with that, how would you explain any of that? I don't know. That's just like, that feels like a lot. You kind of need ID when you go. Anyways. Leftovers.
Daniel. This must be my punishment.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Are you gonna finish your thought?
Can't even focus on the page. This sucks ass, man.
Well, your like depth perception and all of that other stuff would be off too. You kind of have to adjust to that. Just like the first time you get glasses and you're kind of adjusting to like, oh, this is where things are, or this, one or the other. Things are not where you think they are. What's my read? Date, March 26, 2017. Oh my gosh, it's been like a year. Fuck. Was in a coma for weeks, blind and fucked. And in police custody, going to jail soon. Well, I guess that answers that. Hospitals freak me out. Hate this. Where's Daniel? I'm scared. March 30th, 2017. Tried to draw to kill time. This room is like a cage, but I suck now. No depth perception, like I said. No art, no shit. Focusing means an immediate migraine. Huh. Going crazy in here. Woke up crying. Oh, that's so sad. Like, not only has everything happened that's happened, like, we have all of that in this massive trauma sandwich that is increasingly growing, mind you. We have all of these layers of what's already happened, but then we wake up, we have no idea where our brother is, another layer. We're alone. Like, nobody's come in, nobody's talked to us. Plus, this thing that helped us cope, also gone. Not gone, but, like, it's different, and it's no longer helping us cope. It's now a stressful thing. And then we're shame, blaming, and guilting. Sean already looked at the art as though it's levels of badness. It's like, look how bad I am. He nitpicked at how awful his art was, even though it wasn't bad. He always saw it through this lens of, look at how bad my art is because it's not perfect. There's this level of perfectionism. And now that it's been impacted by the whatever's going on with his eye and all this other stuff, he knows that. He wrote it down. But he has a hard time being kind to himself about that, which adds on to this stress. This is another layer to this lovely trauma sandwich. April 3rd, 2017. Special Secret Agent Flores. Flores. She's trying to bond with me. It's kind of like, I see what you're doing, and it's not working. Also, whenever I think of a special secret agent and someone with powers, it makes me think of like all those TV shows and all those movies and comic books that we've seen where the government has a secret part of the government that tries to work with people who have powers, which also kind of implies that there are other people with powers, but that's what I think of when I think of that. Or that, like, there's a federal, like, the government, as in, like, not cops, but, like, federal government, I don't know if it would be the FBI, whatever, is getting involved to look at what happened that day and to maybe give some benefit of the doubt. This probably would be a federal crime now, across state borders. Oh, all of that is gross. She's trying to bond with me, trap me, or trust me. So fucked. So this idea that there's an inherent distrust for authority figures because of what's happened, right? All these layers of this trauma sandwich, some of that is inherently related to authority figures. So I would not blame Sean for not trusting people for this. Like, all of our past has told us don't trust cops or people that are cop-like. So yeah, I can see that. Cops still can't find Daniel after the explosion, so he's out there alone. Oh. In a way, this art is actually really cool. It's different. Does not make it any less cool. April 11th, 2017. Happy birthday, Daniel. Wherever you are, Nano. Oh, so sad. Part of me wonders if this would kind of be, if we're looking at the silver lining, a part of me also wonders if this is a great opportunity to learn what actually happened with Chris. Because in the whole last chapter, it was kind of like, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. Well, shit, that special agent would be a great opportunity to learn why. Granted, I believe cops are kind of allowed to lie to you. Like, they don't talk about that, but, like, they can. So could we trust what they say? I don't know. That's, like, an entirely different conversation. But, I mean, it's a good opportunity to try to find that information out at least. April 15th, 2017. Claire and Steven sent a nice letter. Oh, so lonely. I read it twice. Weird how I miss them now. So cool to hear from Captain Spirit too. Oh my gosh, he's okay. Glad he's doing fine. I mean, as fine as you can be after being hit by a car. My Joey sketch my Joey sketch doesn't look bad. So glad he's around. Joey? Is that like a nurse? Or am I just forgetting someone's name? That's a distinct possibility. April 20th, 2017. So like 420. I wish I could hear Cass play again. Thinking about Cass on 420. It checks out. All those songs are gone, but not our time together. Yeah. I mean, if anything, you always have the tattoo, right? You'll always have the memories, but sometimes our memories kind of change or they fade. It's like when we remember something, we're not actually remembering the event, which is how we think of it. We're remembering the last time we remembered it, and our emotions change how we think of those memories. So memories aren't as concrete as we think of them. But shit, that tattoo is staying there. April 25th, 2017. I fucked Daniel up. I let Finn become his brother. So much shame, blame, and guilt over what happened. In a way, that is in line with this idea that Sean very much has stepped into this parental role. Not that that is ideal or okay, but that's what's happening. This idea that because I wasn't perfect, because I didn't perfectly protect my brother or take care of him or whatever, in these imperfect circumstances, then I'm terrible, I'm awful, I'm all of these things. And like, that's not reality, but we feel like it is, and that impacts us. Oh, sad. I have a bouncing ball. I imagine it's like a stress ball. Ancient Flores' card. TV. What are your thoughts on Agent Flores' card? Ooh, Colbin. Okay, so Joey is the nurse then. If we're saying like call Joey, it's like calling the nurse. What do we think about Agent Flores?
Yeah. Thanks for the card, Agent. Can't wait to text you.
Department of Justice. So this is the FBI. Special Agent Seattle Division. Call anytime, day or night, if you want to talk. That's like... That does feel like trying to be chummy. But like, to what end? Like, what is your goal with that? Huh. Bouncy ball.
Can't catch shit. Zero depth perception. Goodbye, sports.
Yeah. I mean, The game talked about Sean as though it's like, well, he's like the track star, right? He's the track star of his high school. That word escaped me for a second. And so not just that he played the sport, but like that was something that he
This
enjoyed.
day feels like every other day. Just like prison.
To be fair, how would you know? But whatever. I guess the thought that I'm having is that I don't know if physical therapy is something that we do for adjusting to the fact that we've lost an eye.
Yay. Stupid reality shows.
I am feeling a little attacked for the fact that I like The Ring, okay? It's on Netflix. I like it, okay?
I'm supposed to call the nurse when I'm done eating. Guess I'm done.
This is feeling like depression. Cassidy's letter.
I miss Cass so much.
I bet.
Wish I could hold her.
So sad. Howdy, city boy. I bet you're surprised to hear from me. I found out we were in the same hospital from the police after we were questioned and I was checked out a month ago. So I took the chance to write and hope you get this. Wish I could say everything I want, but you never know who's reading this, right? If anybody else is reading this, fuck you. I truly hope you are okay after what happened. As for me, I don't remember much except the explosion at Meryl's office when I woke up in the hospital with blunt trauma. Healing. And what the doctors call blast lung injury. What the fuck is that? I've never heard of that. Hurting. One part is healing and one part is hurting, which is probably still a part of healing. So maybe like a head injury. Head injuries and like TBIs can be really hard. I'm just glad that I can still play guitar and sing. Not that I feel like it. You learn a shitload about medicine stuck in a hospital bed. Fair. As I'm sure you know, my sweet compadre, still working on that Espanol, miss my lessons and my teacher. Oh, so he was teaching her Spanish. You probably know more about what's going on than me, but Hannah, Penny, and I were released without charges. That's good. What about everybody else, though? The police were stoked to bust a farm of traffickers rather than us gutter punks toiling in the field. We asked about you and Daniel, but got no answers. Surprise. So with Finn and you gone, where's Finn? I was very happy that Finn didn't die. I'm happy to get through a chapter without someone dying. So I'm a little invested in Finn right now. Not that, I wish Finn had made some different choices. But I would kind of like to know that Finn's okay. With Finn and you gone, our real family's kind of broken up. Now we're just a lonely trio, train hopping up and down the state, but it feels like we're going in a loop to nowhere. Hannah and Penny aren't the same, and we fight too much. So like Finn was the glue that held the group together. I'm not even sure we'll be together for much longer. Shit changes, right? Maybe I'll have a whole new set of blues songs for the road. I know you're going to trial soon over the Seattle situation. Fuck. You will get the justice and freedom you deserve. The idea of a trial for something like this and all the stress that would come with that. Fuck. And how do you explain that? Like, that is a whole other situation and a whole other can of worms, yet alone the powers. Like, how would you explain that? How? You and Daniel are amazing brothers, and I hope you find your way home soon. Where is home for these kids, too? Grandparents? I hope we can swim naked again under a new moonlight. It's a big world, and maybe we'll meet again someday. I'll always be singing your song. Love and peace, Cassidy. She really cares for him, and he cares for her. It's sad. This game is sad. Alright, well, let's meet Joey. We're not gonna do like the obstinate little like beep, 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 beep. I mean, I guess we could. What else are you gonna do while we wait? We kind of looked at everything. Oh, we can look at the nurse call button.
I hate the sound of this thing.
I mean, they're usually just like a light or a button that like flashes at the end of the hall, at the nursing station, and then like flashes at the door. At least the ones I've seen. So there's a guard at the door.
Good day, sunshine.
Hey, Joey. Hey, man.
Oh, they like each other.
That looks like it might have been food. Hard to tell.
Ha ha. Never heard that before.
Oh, somebody is in a bad mood.
Sorry, Joey. Not feeling it today.
I don't blame you. But maybe I got something to cheer you up.
Pecans and chocolate?
I was just gonna say dessert.
There's that smile.
Thanks, Joey.
So how you feeling today? Any headaches? Socket pain?
No.
So the
It's all
eye's
good.
gone.
Well, this is your final test before... before they... check you out.
Check me out to juvie. Yeah.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Let's see.
Just check you out.
You know the drill. Don't blink and just stare at the light.
I mean, it's good to have.
Yes. Nice retina response.
It's better to have a nurse, anybody that you work with, therapists, doctors, nurses that we have that relationship with. So the fact that there's somebody that we don't hate, there's somebody that we can talk to, we don't have to pour our heart out, but there's somebody that we like, that we get along with, that can make a world's difference.
Okay. Now, try to follow the light as well as you can.
Don't make me personally do this. Oh, God damn it. Where? Oh.
Come on, Sean. You've been there before.
I was like, where's the light going? I didn't see it move.
Good.
And then it did move.
Keep going.
Are you
Straining too hard?
specifically not supposed to move
Nah.
your head with this? Just your eyes?
Can't really focus today.
I guess.
Sorry.
Remember, to see objects on your left side, you gotta turn your head more now.
Yeah.
You're way off today.
Okay.
Now try to align your pen with mine.
I'll try.
No rush. This is tough.
What do I do? And press A to see if it's aligned. Oh.
Your depth perception will always be affected, so you gotta try harder.
Shit.
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Come on.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's enough. Too much stress on you and your eye. But remember, your depth perception will always be affected.
I think you just said that.
Here, read this.
Patient cleared. Patient cleared. I'm a pirate. Get me out of here. I want to say I'm a pirate. I mean, how could you, in my opinion, how could you not embrace piratism? Not the act of it, just the look. Not the teeth of the pirate, just the eye. Maybe the bird. The bird in the eye of a pirate. If this happened to you. Kind of just go with it, I guess. But I'm also very curious what it means patient cleared. I'll ask that.
Patient cleared. Send him right to jail.
Oh.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I always hated that game.
Really?
You can try, but you can't rig the exam, Sean.
I like how I fail. All of these exams that I'm given follow this thing. I'm sure you're supposed to follow the light, with just your eyes. And not, move your head. But Joey's like, you didn't do very well on that today. And then the depth perception thing, I didn't do well at that at all. But it's we're just gonna clear you. Is that how that's supposed to work? I'm not a nurse or a doctor, so I don't know.
It's time we release you. Sorry. Your vision has improved a lot. Now you don't really have severe side effects anymore.
Yeah. That's just great.
I do have to tell them the truth. But first, let's clean this dressing.
Hey, sure hope you're watching the door like your phone.
Come on. He ain't going nowhere.
Great.
All I do is watch him.
Yes, true. Your job. Do you mind if we talk alone?
Mind if I finish with my patient?
He looks good for now, right? Just come.
I'm pretty sure that she is not a medical professional, so I don't think she can actually make that judgment, but whatever.
Back when I'm finished with him.
Sure. I'll swing by later, Sean. Stay cool.
If you can't like see very well, does that mean that you could sit here and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the snide look I was giving you? That's a very bad joke. I would probably use that. It's a pun. That's what it is. It's a pun.
So, how are you feeling today, Mr. Diaz?
Amazing. Did you find Daniel?
I want to go over this again.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I've been telling the same fucking story for 3 weeks. How much longer?
Until it makes sense. Until you get it right.
Get
So,
it. I'm sorry. Get it right. I thought the whole point of like interviewing someone, interrogating someone, if you will, was to get the truth. But if you're telling them, we're going to talk until you get it right, that's not the truth. So what are you after then? It's not the truth then. That's what you're saying. So what are you after?
silence isn't gonna help you now. Listen close, Sean. Tomorrow you're going to Jolena Shore and you'll be arraigned in court for the murder of a Seattle police officer.
That'll go.
You might spend the rest of your life in prison.
Fantastic.
Or you can talk to me.
In my mind, I'm like, remember that cops can lie. And like the FBI, I'm sure, can lie. But like, how? I don't know. Like, so many legal things apply to like how you can interrogate someone or not interrogate someone. But like, that's not what I'm an expert on. Again, not a lawyer, never a lawyer. Lawyer things don't apply to me. But like, when we talk about how we talk to other people though, this is not a fair conversation, essentially. Again, like the legal implications aside, because she's basically saying you are either going to die with a miserable life in prison or whatever, right? Like, we all know the implications of going to court over something like this. Like, we all know what that implies. And a lot of times the implication of something bad is a bigger threat than what we could actually spell out to someone, because our imagination will do a hell of a lot more. Our imaginations will always paint a more vibrant picture than anything we can spell out. That's why when we watch horror movies or something like that, if we don't see the monster, that is a more effective horror movie, because our imaginations will always do something more justice than when we actually see it or hear it in this case. So she's basically implying all these terrible, horrible things. She's not directly spelling it out, because if she directly spelled it out, our imagination can't fill in the gaps. So we know what the implications of this are, right? Awful, terrible, horrible things, whatever our imagination kind of fills in the gap with. Or you can talk to me, right? She's very much implying that she's some kind of a friend, that she is a better alternative than all these horrible, awful things our imagination paints. She's also implying that there are only two choices. So she's implying there are only two choices here, which in life there usually are not two choices. But she's telling us that. And when people tell us stuff like that, and we believe them, that's a way that like manipulation can kind of happen. And sometimes this is done purposefully so people can kind of get what they want. And sometimes it's not. So she's telling us that you only have two choices. Life does not only have two choices. It's a very black and white way of thinking when we hear stuff like that. And when she describes this and she paints this story, she's painting herself. I'm assuming this has happened before, which is why it always popped in my head, but she's painting herself as the good guy. She's our ally. She's here to help us. And that's why we should talk to her. But we don't know her. We don't know anything about her. We don't know her motives. She's technically a cop. She's a different kind of cop. So, I mean, and even if she wasn't a cop, why else would she be talking to us? Why would a guard let her pass otherwise? She's not a medical professional, right? Like, could we say that this is bribery? Potentially. Again, like, would that fit the legal definition of bribery? I don't know. Does it matter though? Like, the feeling of bribery is there. The feeling of manipulation, that's there too. The feeling of coercion, that's there, right? This is not just like an honest heart to heart. That gets to me. Oh, that I don't like that. I don't like that. That's no. Innocent until proven guilty, like you care or didn't kill anyone. Can I just be silent? Some of these conversations I can just be silent on and the game just kind of like takes over. Although, now that I think about that, I do like to have somewhat of a choice, some control over what happens in this game. Maybe I don't want to be silent. At least I want the consequences of my actions. I want to feel like they're actually my actions. You know what? Yeah, innocent until proven guilty.
I'm innocent until proven guilty, right?
And I believe that.
Do you?
That's why I want you to tell me the whole truth.
It's just, I can't.
Was Daniel involved? Is that why you can't talk?
No way.
And you're out.
She's not only telling us that she's on our side, right? It's like, I'm here for you. I understand where you're coming from. Like, her language is very much about, like, she's directly telling us that she's like on our side. Her body language and her tone of voice is also trying to do the same thing, right? She leans in, and so she's trying to create this body language that shows that she's listening, that she cares, right? It's hard to lean in and I'm already like, huh, at my desk, already like, huh, leaning in. Like, she's creating this body language that shows that, like, oh, I care, right? Look at me, I'm leaning in to show how much I'm listening and caring. She doesn't have this tone of voice or this look that I have on my face because I am not really here for it right now. But like, body language wise, that's what she's doing. She's also using this very soft tone of voice. She's trying to appear not threatening. She's trying to appear supportive with her body language, her tone of voice, her cadence, which is like how quickly she speaks. She's trying not to interrupt, right? She's doing all of these things to basically appear non-threatening. She's trying to do all these things, like communication-wise, to appear as though she's our friend, because those things go hand in hand, non-threatening and being our friend. In order to get us to I don't know, talk to her, share. Like, because if someone appears to be our friend, we're going to share more with them, right? All of this makes me inherently not trust her. All of these things combined. Because if you, I imagine, do this job for as long as however long she's been doing it, long enough to be like an FBI special agent, essentially, then I don't think that she's doing this by chance. I think this is a purposeful thing that she's doing. We don't just stumble into being a special agent and not know what we're doing with something like this. And she thinks that we're just like protecting our brother because he's our brother, which quite honestly, I think Sean would do regardless. But there's also this idea that Daniel has a power. Who the fuck would believe us about the goddamn power? And the reason why I comment on a lot of these communication things is because the majority of our communication is nonverbal. Like, yes, we talk. That's communication. But when we are talking to somebody and when we are communicating with somebody, our brain is processing a lot of things that are involved with communication that are not literally just the words that we say. Our brain processes how quickly we're speaking, the tone of voice that we are using, how much people interrupt or don't interrupt, eye contact, the facial expressions that people have, their body language, posture, all of these things factor into the message that we receive, even though we don't consciously think about them. And that's why I comment on all of this, because the majority of the communication that we receive is nonverbal.
Absolutely sure your dad didn't go after the officer.
He was killed. Are you kidding? So I don't know which of these choices is giving her the least amount of information, because I don't think she's going to be our friend. I guess I don't know the theme behind this episode. I guess if I had to guess, maybe we go to juvie and our mom gets us out. Ooh, wouldn't that be intriguing? Ooh. That'd be an interesting can of worms to open. Because Sean's the one who has the greatest amount of hatred towards their mom. He was killed.
Yeah, he came outside. Then he was killed. That's what he did. Just guilty of being... who knows?
I hear you, but
That comment, I hear you. Like, she leans in. Whenever we say something, she leans in. And that's why I'm like, oh, she said, we said what she wanted to hear. And the spiteful part of me is like, don't say what she wants to hear. And then her saying, I hear you, is one of those things that we do when we try to practice active listening, to tell someone, you know, like, oh, I hear you, I understand you, right? But like, just because you say that doesn't mean you actually are hearing us. But it's a way that we try to tell someone that we are hearing them. But again, just because we say that doesn't mean we're actually listening. There's a difference, I guess, between hearing someone and actually listening.
you sure you didn't get upset and go after the officer?
Are you sure you were angry? Really?
It happens.
Jesus. No.
And then she also tries to normalize it. She tries to say, oh, this stuff happens, which can make us feel like, oh, well, if that stuff happens, then maybe I can tell you if it did happen to me, right?
Oh. Look at me.
Okay, let's just jump ahead. Tell me what happened in that farm in Humboldt. The place looks like a tornado wiped it out.
So like drawing parallels in between what happened with however things looked when they left the place in Seattle, because we know that Daniel kind of went with that. And then however the place looked with the farm, because they're very similar, because Daniel kind of like both times.
I've told you so many times. I have no clue why the place was trashed. I passed out.
Plus 3 seriously wounded.
So this idea of I'm going to grill you multiple times, because eventually you might see something that'll slip up. And also every single time I'm going to try to position myself as a friend, as an ally, and hope that eventually you'll see it as though I'm actually helping you. And maybe it won't just be that you slip up. Maybe you'll just start naturally opening up to me. Also that kind of thing. But we've also seen that she isn't always genuinely like that. I feel like another piece of evidence that we have to show that this is potentially a facade or a fake thing that she's doing just for the sake of getting information from us is how she treated that guard outside. When she first came in, she was like, why are you, like, she just chided him. And could that be because she has high expectations for her job? Potentially. And then she sees someone who's like not living up to those expectations. That is a possibility. But it could also be that like that was her real side. And now that she's here, it's like, oh, here's the facade where I'm going to pretend to be your friend and be nice.
Along with you. And a missing child. Nobody's statement matches with each other.
Okay.
Sean.
That's not Sean's fault, though. It's not Sean's problem.
Can't you see I want to help?
So she makes it seem like it's his problem. Where it's like, well, nobody's statements are matching up. So like the way that she phrases it almost kind of implies that like, well, that's your job to make it line up. That's not Sean's job. Technically, that's your job. That's your job to put all these puzzle pieces together. It's not his fault that you can't make it all fit. And then the way she's all like, oh, help me out here, right? Like this idea, again, implying that they're friends and you're doing me a favor, right? All of her verbiage and language is very much about how she's trying to position herself as this friend, this ally. She's just here to help. I don't like it, obviously. I don't like it. Like it feels very dishonest, and that's why I don't like it. Just be honest. And of course, this is not how interrogations are not built on honesty, and I realize that. Doesn't mean I like it though.
You haven't found my brother.
We might have some leads.
That's a lie.
You can help by telling me the truth.
She just wants the same thing that she came here for. So she's basically saying,
The robbery.
if you tell the truth, I'll help you find your brother. But that's a lie. She just wants what she came here for initially. She's realizing if she says that she can help find Daniel, she'll get the truth. His character bothers me, obviously.
Whose idea was it? His or yours? Huh?
We all did. Finn, my idea. That's a hard question for me. I don't want to take the blame for Finn. Because I was so against that. I was so against that. So I don't want to take the blame for Finn. There's a part of me too that really feels for Finn though, because Finn has this history of people blaming him for crimes and then he would get in trouble for it. So I kind of feel for him if that would feel very similar to his past and then feeling betrayed again. Like I could see how that would really hit him emotionally. But I don't want to take the blame for that. When I was with me as a player, I was so adamantly against doing that crime. I also kind of just want to say like F it and just say the opposite of what actually happened just to mess with this lady. Just because I don't like her approach to things. That is a very spiteful part of me right now. Oh gosh. Finn, we all did my idea. Finn, I guess.
Finn. It was his idea to rip off Meryl.
Did he force you to help? Or did you go along with it?
How do you define force? I don't like these questions. I went along or he lied. No, he lied.
He lied. I didn't want to help, but he got Daniel involved. I swear I didn't think anything like this was gonna happen.
Nobody does, Sean. Until it's too late.
So that kind of like normalizes it. It's like, oh, nobody does this, nobody does that. It almost makes it sound like it's okay that this happened. We'll get you out of this if you talk to me, right? That's the implication. But that's obviously not why she's talking to us.
Yeah. Now I know.
And what about Cassidy? She planned all this with Finn?
She was against it. I messed up. Well, this is an easy one to answer. She was against it.
She was against this stupid plan. She had nothing to do with it.
Your friends are learning the hard way.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Again, it's very, very binary. There's a hard way and an easy way, right? Like, either you go to court or you talk to me, right? Because what you're basically telling people is, you have to talk to me. You have to do this thing. You're forcing people to do what you want. It's very manipulative. Didn't want this. They didn't deserve it. I don't know. They're kind of the same choice. They feel that way. Didn't want this?
I didn't want any of this shit. Now I gotta live with it.
You're not alone, Sean. There are people that want to help.
You're not one of them. Oh, I just want to scream that.
By the way, we contacted your grandparents in Beaver Creek. They can visit you after you're transferred. Might be a while, but you do have a support group. We couldn't track down your mother, though. Sorry.
Good. What about Daniel? You said you had leads.
I said might.
Admitting that it wasn't
Hold
true.
on. I gotta take this call.
But doesn't want to fully admit that it's not true, because then she can use that for leverage later on. Can I look at stuff? Oh, I can look at stuff.
Sorry, Finn. She didn't want anything to do with this.
No, she didn't.
Wonder what Meryl told the cops about the robbery.
That's a very good question.
Sorry, Hannah. Hope the cops didn't mess with Penny. Prison would fuck him up.
Yeah. Oh, Baptist. Dean Mike. Oh. I thought I could like read something on the back.
Flores?
Yes. Hi. Yes, Nicole. Everything okay? Well, if she said enough, then enough. You know the rules, son. No, honey. I told you I was gonna be away for a while. I'm sorry, okay? You gotta be good. Okay. Ponela, will you down the phone, please? Yeah. I love you. Hola, mamá. Sí. Es que... no sé. Todavía estoy en el hospital y... sí. Sí. Mañana por la noche. Mi vuelo sale a las 9. No. Le he dicho que no. Está todo el día con la Playbox. Pero no quiero que peleen, por favor. Sí, bueno.
She needs to talk on her phone louder so I can eavesdrop properly.
Déjale. Dale. Sí, mañana nos vemos. Un beso. Sorry about that.
Are you?
Okay. So what's going on with Daniel? You really have leads?
No.
Yes, we do. That's our job. The Bureau put his profile out over 4 states. So
Okay.
we are on the case.
You lied to me for how long? Oh, that's true. She did lie. Because, again, she wanted to use that for leverage later on. Ooh, I want to call her out on the lying. I want to call her out on the lying. You lied to me.
You lied to me.
Yep.
You have no leads.
Mm-hmm.
You have no fucking idea where my brother is.
I don't lie, Sean. But you did.
That right there is a lie. You can't say an absolute like that, saying, I never lie. That implies that you're flat out saying that you have never lied in your life ever. That's what an absolute is. It's saying that this has never happened ever, or that it will never happen ever, which inherently is a lie. Or you just have like a weird perception of what you have done in your life. That cannot be true inherently, which is by itself a lie.
And your brother is paying the price.
Take your hand off me, please. So implying that if you don't talk to like this, if you don't talk to me, you're hurting your brother.
Fuck. You. I'm done.
Anyway, thanks for talking to me. I'll be back tomorrow to take you to Jolena Shore.
I greatly appreciated that response, Sean. Thank you. Stop pretending to be my friend. Just be honest.
Look out. I have to guard the guard now. Love it.
Joey's
Sit
like,
down so we can get this show going.
what did I walk into?
So, how did your interview with Scully go?
I'm free. You mean interrogation? Oh yeah, it was an interrogation.
You mean interrogation? Who knows? Maybe Detective Flores wants to help.
I don't think so.
Maybe not. I just can't trust her.
After what you and your brother went through, I don't blame you.
Fair.
Aw, this shit is all wrong, man. You've been out of the garden for 3 weeks now. We talk every day. I can see that you're a good person.
I'm not, or thank you. Ooh, so saying I'm not would basically be like shitting on ourselves. It's basically like saying my choices define me as a person, and because I've made choices that I regret, I'm a bad person. You know, that whole A equals B equals C kind of a thing. But by saying thank you, it's like saying I've made choices that I am not happy about, but me as a person, I'm different than that. I'm gonna go thank you.
Thanks, Joey. Want to tell that to the judges?
I'm just saying, you don't deserve this. Now let's check this out. The healing is coming along nice. Just gotta keep it clean for the next week or so. Simple.
That's great.
Seen the shrink this morning? What did she say?
Nothing I want to hear. This will take time and rehab, Sean. You have to process first. Ugh. I can tell myself that shit.
Clearly, I'm no therapist, but...
Someone doesn't quite feel ready for therapy is what that feels like. Like, therapy could be fantastic for Sean. Wonderful, but like, we have to be in a place where we want it, where we're ready. If we are forced to go to therapy and we don't want it, we're not ready, we're not gonna we could be with like the world's best therapist. We could be with a therapist who really clicks with us, because that's important in therapy too. And it won't matter, because we just won't be at a place where we are willing to hear the things that the therapist is telling us. So the willingness and openness and like a desire, those are important things with therapy too. And I feel like that's what Sean is showing, this idea of like, I'm not ready for therapy yet. So could therapy then be helpful for Sean later on when he is ready and willing? I think so. I think that would be more helpful than now if he's not ready for therapy.
I've nursed patients with your injury. They all turned their anger into energy. You will too. Plus, the glass-eye tech is pretty cool now. Things change, Sean.
He also seems more willing to hear things that could be therapeutic from Joey. And it could be that maybe working with a therapist that he really clicks better with would be more beneficial for him. As in, like, the things that he commented on sound a lot like the therapist telling him things instead of really listening. So some therapists have different styles for that stuff. And all of those things that are valid. But at least he seems willing to hear stuff from Joey that is therapeutic and helpful to hear. Sometimes that stuff is helpful from someone, even if it's not a therapist. Jail for life is so positive. So positive.
I hear you. I'm trying to be positive. But it's so hard.
I know. I do. But I promise there's a treat coming your way.
Candy?
Now, as for your wound, this is the last time you hear this from me. You have to clean it with sterile gauze and saline solution.
I'm probably gonna fuck this up.
Coat the area using the swab and cream.
Where are your gloves? You should be wearing gloves. Please don't
wrap
make me
it up
remember
with
this.
clean dressing. And you're the shit. Remember,
I know I am.
You gotta do this.
4 times a day.
Damn.
I won't forget.
I'm sorry about everything, Sean. Wish I could have done more.
Dude, you saved my ass here. You're the only one I trust. It really helped.
Cool. I'm glad when I can make a Oh, shit. Emergency. I'm out. And no smoke break. Let's say our goodbye tomorrow. Oh, Sean, check out that towel. Got your name all over it.
And your treat?
Catch you later.
Feels like Joey smuggled us contraband.
Joey.
You literally
You are her boss.
You left your pen. I don't think you're supposed to leave your pen in here.
Joey's the only one who helped me get through this shit.
Oh, I suppose we already have a pen. Oh. Is that a souvenir? Oh. Oh, there's drawings in the trash. There's letters over here. What's in the towel? What's in the box? It's our contraband. What is it? What is it? What is it? John, what is it?
Wow. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Is that our journal? Why couldn't we have that before? What on earth are we gonna fucking do with our sketchbook?
I know I fucked Daniel over. Again. And now he's gone. Where would he hide out? A 10-year-old by himself?
Fuck, he's dead now.
Out there?
Probably try to find your mom.
He might go back to Seattle.
He has the
Too
P.O.
far.
box.
Nowhere to go. If he tried to hook up with Claire and Steven, they would have definitely told me. Or the cops.
I don't know about that. They kept you guys secret.
Wait. What's that? Super Wolf. Huh? Does that mean... It means that Daniel's with Jacob somewhere? He's safe?
Of all the people at the camp, the most meek person. Jacob was always kind of like folding in on himself. He spoke up the least. Hannah and Penny didn't speak up much, but when they did, they were very loud. Jacob was not that way. When Jacob spoke up, it was very quiet, very meek. And he didn't speak up often. Like, that combination made him feel almost forgettable as a character. I borrowed a blanket and a few other things from your tent. We'll give them back to you when you come looking for your Super Wolf comic. So when you come looking for your brother, it's waiting for you, Jake. Cassidy versus Hannah the Wise. Interesting. He grew up in that religious community and kind of talked about it as though he had a lot of religious trauma, about how he saw the world and how that impacted him. So, where would he have taken...
All I gotta do... Haven Point, Nevada.
I moved past that too fast. Where would he have taken him? I guess this is it. Met the new workers from Europe, Anders, blah, blah. Had a long talk with Jacob. He's like a little kid. He lives in some religious commune. Yes, from Haven Point, Nevada. Looks fine here. Free? Okay, so Haven Point, Nevada, I guess is where we're going. If we can get out.
Gotta find a way to escape. Tonight.
Did Joey know that that was in there? I guess that's the million-dollar question. Oh, this a cross. That's what that is. Are we climbing out the fucking window? Sacred Hope Hospital. That makes more sense why there's a cross.
Time to clear off now. This whole hospital is so quiet. So don't make any noise.
Don't be suspicious.
Find a way to get the hell out of here.
This is a good place to stop for today. So in this chunk, we've seen Sean without his brother. After everything that they've been through, it feels like that trauma has really made them bond together. But now Daniel's gone. And so not only is Sean shaming, blaming, and guilting himself, but he talks about it as though he's feeling maybe depressed or just lost. And everything that has happened over the past almost year is really like crashing down on him. Like he has no supports. And not only that, really seeing like how the cops are really kind of going after him and pressuring him in a way that I extremely dislike. Like there's a part of me that knows that inherently interrogations and things like that are not an honest process. But I really want them to be. I guess I just want all communication between people to be honest and more open and things like that. And so that whole interaction bothered me incredibly because like I feel like when I can see that there's some level of dishonesty in that way, I want to be able to talk about it. And we can't. I mean, Sean did, and that was amazing though. That was very satisfying. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the game and the video, and I will see you next time.